we've got some new flooding video coming in. This is in Morrisville, New York. Thunderstorms bringing heavy rain over central New York this morning, prompting flash flood watches across the area. Some areas even received between 2.5 to 3.5 inches of rain. So you can see how quickly things can change. These flooded waters overtaking some of the roads. Some of the storm reports, Michael, we've been getting out of this area have been pretty staggering. Reports at one point of 10 people stuck in the floodwaters, probably just in their homes, and they can't get out because they don't know how deep it is, etc. But a dangerous turn for Sunday morning, for sure.
Absolutely. 3 to 5 inches of rain has fallen, which obviously you can see what that does. Little tiny creeks at the sides of roads literally turn into raging rivers, as you can see there. And unfortunately, what we're learning is that, quote, numerous roads and bridges are flooded as well. This is going to be in Chenango County, that's how we're pronouncing it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, Chenango County, New York. And as Haley just mentioned, in places like Sherburne and New Berlin, New York, that's where at least 10 people were stranded due to the floodwaters. And as we were saying before, Chenango County is in a state of emergency as we speak. So let's get you right to the maps, show you what the big picture looks like real quick, and then show you again what that satellite imagery looks like, because it wasn't just there. It was also a derecho that blasted through parts of the Dakotas, unfortunately killing at least 3 people. And we've also learned that power, of course, being knocked out at one time to over 13,000 customers. All of that energy, and unfortunately, in those areas that you're seeing and where we have seen those storms, once again, violent storms are erupting, and you can see them right there. We're going to talk about that in detail in just a moment, but first and most immediately, we are going to go to the flash flood emergency, still ongoing. You can see where Binghamton, New York is right here, and then just north of Binghamton, right along I-88, that's where we're seeing that flash flood emergency. This, unfortunately, a dire situation. Here's what's going on, and here's the reason why some of this was issued. Look at where all of this orange is. Over the past several hours, that represents between 3 to 5 inches of rain. 1 inch of rain over just 1 square mile equates to over 17 million gallons of water. When you triple that, when you quadruple that amount of rain in a short window of time, this was only in just a couple of hours, that is what has led to significant flash flooding, specifically around Norwich, which I've highlighted there, is one area where they've picked up what we're hearing is over 4 inches. So over 4 inches is where we've seen that Herculean amount of rain. So even toward South New Berlin, White Store toward Chenango Lake, Norwich, right along State Highway Route 12 and 23. I need you to be extra vigilant for high waters and for some significant flooding of bridges and roadways. Preston up toward Plymouth, we're talking to you as well. So bringing Haley back into the conversation, a number of storm reports is what we're seeing right now, and I'll highlight a few of these. But, you know, it is one of those things, Haley, we have to kind of just wait and see as I try to query some of this. We'll have to wait and see where all of this is heading, because generally speaking, it's heading toward the that big slivers heading generally toward the south and southwest, and it looks like places like Plymouth picking up, what, over 3 inches of rain in a short period of time.
Yeah, National Weather Service out of Binghamton saying, hey, they are very slow moving and just bringing torrential rain. And the reason why they have this torrential rain aspect is because we've been so humid and moist across the Northeast. And so all of that moisture transport then can correlate to just very heavy rain that gets condensed down. I'm honestly surprised we don't have more flash flood reports coming in, but granted, it is still somewhat early-ish, and they're probably going out and making those reports right now, especially when it comes to flash flooding. It takes a little bit to kind of take stock of the situation, but for the majority of the rain in this area starting to subside under the flash flood emergency, but we're still watching as that shield of precip shifts a little bit further south, which could put Scranton in the crosshairs out towards Mount Olive, and then again, as we've been talking about, New York City seeing a bit heavier rain than what was initially expected.
Yeah, you know, Scranton, this is where Scranton, PA is right here. And that wall of water is basically right here. And it is slowly, if you notice the direction in which it's drifting, Haley, I'd say this is more of a southern and almost like a western sort of tilt to it.
Yeah.
And so I think Scranton, PA is going to get super soaked. You look at what's on the way, into Scranton, and we're talking about all of that rain heading right into Scranton, which is a larger populated city.
Yeah, it seems to be dissipating just a little bit. SPC saying that it was the overnight MCS over the Northeast, and a lot of those storms are confined along that outflow boundary. But as we get later on into the day, we could watch things start to dissipate a little bit.